Assalamualaikum and good day to each and everyone, especially po to you ma'am. So I am Nurjana M. Gamel, the number 15 reporter. And now I will be discussing about the structure of social group. So reporter number 14 have already introduced the social groups. And now let's proceed to its structure. It is refers to the arrangement or interrelationship of all parts of a whole, refers to the pattern developed and maintain themselves over time in interpersonal relationships. It refers to how people in a group are organized and how they interact with each other. Kumbaga, ito yung nag-aayos o relationship para mabuo ang isang grupo. We have 7 group structures na pag-aaralan na titignan to maintain good relationship. The first is the size, communication structure, affectionate structure, leadership structure, role structure, group norms, and status. This refers to the number of persons in the group. The literature does not exactly say what number of people constitutes a small group. So it is refers how many people are in group. Pero kung konti lang ang tao sa grupo is mas madali. Manotice to how they behave and interact with each other. And usually, pag sa treatment focus group like therapy is the ideal number of members lang dapat is 5 to 7 para madali maobserbahan yung dynamics ng behavior and interaction ng tao sa loob, kung paano sila mag-relate sa isa't isa. Pero kung sa advocacy naman is mas maganda pag marami. So, communication structure, it is the process of transferring and sharing messages and meaning using symbols like words, movement, and gestures and sounds. So, it is refers to how messages and information are shared within a group. This includes using words, body language like gestures, sounds, and other symbols to convey meaning. May forces din na maaari makapagbigay ng direksyon o makapagbago sa direksyon ng communication. Ang proponent nito ay sina French and Raven. So these are the 5 bases of power. First is the reward power. So this is when someone has the ability to give rewards or benefits. Second is the coercive power. So this is the opposite of reward power. It's when someone has the ability to punish or take away something good. Then third is legitimate power. So these powers comes from a person's role and or position within a group like manager or leader. Fourth is the referent power. So this power comes from being liked or admired. Example, we want to be like her, then we will be influenced by her. Then 5 is the expert power. So this power is based on someone's knowledge, skills, or expertise. So example, if she known as the knowledgeable, then people will listen to her and trust her. The third is the affectionate structure. So this is the process of acting and reacting which takes place between people meeting together in a group. So papaano sila nag-a-act and nagre-react sa isa't isa pag nagkikita sila. Ano ba ang mga bagay na nagko-contribute sa affectionate structure sa isang grupo? According to Grace Coyle, the number 1 is the natural attraction. So, para bang meron siyang positive feeling sa grupo na yun. Feeling niya similar yung gusto nilang mangyari and similar yung damdamin nila. So, natural attraction yun kaya nagkakaroon ng magandang relationship or affection sa grupo. And meron ding unconscious needs of member. Dito naman is nararamdaman niya yung love and concern na hindi niya nararamdaman sa kanyang parents, kaya nagkakaroon siya ng parent figure. Or nagmumula sa siblings conflict or competition siyang nararamdaman kaya may affection siya dahil meron siyang unconscious need na dun niya naramdaman. The technique that are usually used in this structure is sociometry, developed by psychiatrist Jacob Moreno, para pag-aralan yung effective relationship among group members. Ang sociometry daw, sabi ni Jacob Moreno, ay isang technique na may malaking tulong na magagawa sa isang social worker to gain insight about the group, terms of interpersonal structure to obtain and lead for selecting appropriate interventions with individuals of the group. So, malaki ang tulong ni sociometry kay social worker para malaman natin ang nararapat na intervention kasama yung bawat isa sa grupo. So, here's the example of na sociometry. Halimbawa, isang grupo ito sila. And the question is, with whom do you enjoy most in gathering? So, ginawa natin ang patterns. So, ang sabi ni Jana ay si Hana. Sabi naman ni Hana ay si Chas at Casey. Sabi naman ni Chas ay si Moss. Sabi naman ni Moss ay si Rai, and so on and so forth. So, after i-collect ang data, lalagyan ng interpretation by words and figures. Lumabas na may isolate, which is sina Sahla and Casey kasi wala silang pinili. May rejected din, which is sina Chantel, Jana, Sam, and Badting kasi hindi sila pinili. May mutual rin and glitch, which is sina Moss, Anvar, Rai, Cholo kasi sila yung nagpapasa-pasahan. And last is Star. Ito yung parang gusto kasama ng lahat, which is sina Moss, Rai, and Anvar. So, number 4 is the leadership structure. So, is the essentiality, the ability to influence people in some ways. We have approaches of leadership. The first is the position theory. So, the leader is a person who would occupy the topmost position and all the others below would be lesser leaders. So, dahil siya yung nasa taas, kaya dapat siya yung sundin. The second is a threat theory. So this approach to leadership is said to have been in existence for a very long time and assumes that leaders have personal traits or characteristics that make them different from other people. Kung sino yung great person, dahil siya yung may good personality, kaya siya yung magiging leader. Third is the style theory. Leader is based on the style influence. So we have the parts of style theory. Number 1 is the transactional style. Members agree to obey leader when they accept the job benefit. So uma-agree ang members na susunod sila sa leader basta alam nila ang roles and responsibilities nila, and motivated people thrive because team judge based on performance. B is the autocratic style. So, leader has complete power, efficient, quick decisions, gets work done best using crisis. So, may complete power yung leader. Maganda ito sa crisis situation dahil ang decision is mabibilis. Walang kumukontra dahil nasa leader ang complete power. We also have bureaucratic style. So, leader work by the book, follow rules rigorously. So, leader naman dito is by the book. Kailangan sumusunod sila sa matitinding rules and gusto nila matupad yung procedures na meron. We also have charismatic style. So, inspirations and enthusiastic. So, ito naman is a source of inspiration and nagiging enthusiastic ang mga tao dahil they are motivated to move forward. And we have also democratic or participative style. So, it includes team members in decision making. So, ito naman is kasama yung members sa decision making. Laissez-faire style, minimum input or participation from the leader. So, dito naman is hinahayaan yung member na trabahuin ang gusto nila. So, this style of leadership is may high job satisfaction at mataas ang productivity kasi malaya silang gawin ang gusto nila dahil hinahayaan silang mag-function. Yung mga members naman na naiiwang mag-isa is they struggle kasi kumbaga hindi ito united. And we have also task-oriented style. So, it focus on only on getting the job done. So, ito naman is focus lang siya na magawa yung trabaho. Layunin lang nito is ma-meet yung deadline. And people-oriented style is focused on organizing, supporting, and developing people. Ito naman is ini-encourage lang ang creative collaboration. And a servant leadership style, lead by example. So, dito naman is siya muna ang gagawa, magli-lead muna siya. and hindi ito pwede sa mga quick decisions. And we also have transformational leadership style. So it is inspiring. So it is focused on inspiring people din, parang charismatic style pero hindi ito gaano kadetalyado. Then last is the functional leadership style. Performance of acts that help the group to accomplish its goals. So self-explanatory na po ito. And the last part of style theory is the situational theory. Situation produces leaders. Leadership is a function of the situation rather than the person or what he or she does. So nakafocus lang sa situation yung pagiging leader dito. Dahil hindi dahil kung sino siya, hindi dahil kung ano yung nagawa niya, kundi siya ang nalagay na leader dahil sa produkto ng sitwasyon. The number 5 in part of group structure is role structure. So, ano yung roles o expectation of behavior sa loob ng grupo? Ano yung expected behavior sa grupo para ma-maintain? So, we have different roles or expectation at nahahati ito sa tatlo. First is the group building and maintenance roles, group task roles, non-functional roles emanating from self-centered behavior. So let's define the different kinds of role. First is the group building and maintenance role. So kailangan ito para ma-maintain ang relationship ng isa't isa at pagsasama-sama. So required ito na meron sa loob ng isang grupo. Then first is the encouraging. So dapat may nag-e-encourage na friendly, warm, responsive, may nagpa-praise, may nag-a-agree at may nag-a-accept. Second is the mediating. Kung may pagkakaiba naman, may nagko-compromise kung kailangan para magkakasundo-sundo. So, gatekeeping, ito yung magsiset ng limited talking para lahat ay makapagsalita. Then, standard setting, pagsiset ng standard kung ano yung dapat na pag-uusapan, mga rules, conduct, and ethical values. Following, getting along with the group, being a good listener. So, dapat meron ganito sa loob ng grupo dahil hindi pwedeng leader na lang lahat. Then, relieving tension. So, pag hindi na maganda yung usapan, dapat mag-take a break muna para ma-drain off yung negative feelings. Let's proceed to the second, which is the group task role. Those which help the group to its work, required for the locomotion of group towards its goals. So, ito naman yung pagkilos ng grupo papunta dun sa goals nila. Then, the first is the initiating, suggestion of new ideas or change way of looking at the group problem or goal, proposing new activities. So, dapat may nag-i-initiate. Second is the information seeking. So, hinahanap yung mga relevant facts or authoritative information para ma-achieve ang group task. So, information giving. So, nagpo-provide ng relevant facts sa nangyayari sa grupo na yan. Then, opinion giving. Meron din nagbibigay ng opinion. Alam dapat natin na i-identify ang information sa opinion. So, as you can see, ito yung task roles para ma-achieve at magkaroon ng proseso para kumilos yung ideas sa loob ng grupo. A social worker must know how to facilitate through this. Dapat alam natin kung paano mag-clarify, mag-elaborate, coordinate, i-orient ang bawat isa, magtanong o i-test ang bawat isa kung ready na ba na mag-create tayo ng decision or naiintindihan na ba ng lahat. As a social worker, we are expected to know how to facilitate in the task roles to maintain relations. Third is the non-functional roles emanating from self-centered behavior. So, ito yung negative roles na nanggagaling o self-centered behavior. The first is the blocking. So, nire-reject niya yung ideas ng isang tao na walang konsiderasyon and no proper justification. And then, isa-cite niya yung personal experience na hindi naman related sa problem ng group. Nakikipag-argue siya and preventing a vote sa loob ng groups. Second is the aggression. So, ito ay walang konsiderasyon, hindi nakikirelate sa isa't isa, naninishi na siya. And then, the seeking recognition. Ito yung sobra-sobra na yung pagsasalita. Gusto niya siya na lang ang nagsasalita. Nagmamayabang na siya. So, special pleading. So, nagre-represent siya ng grassroots kahit hindi naman related sa concern ng group. Ito yung gumagamit ng ibang tao, like sasabihin niya na marami pong nagsasabi na ayaw nila ng ganito, ganyan. Then withdrawing. So, hindi nakikisama, hindi nagpa-participate, nakikipagsikahan lang sa ibang tao. The last one is the dominating. So, ito yung nagpo-pull rank siya na para bang mas mataas siya. The number 6 in group structure is the group norms. It is the process of interaction, norms, or rules and standards of behavior emerge in the group. So, ito yung rules na sa loob ng grupo. According to Napier and Gershenfeld, may different kinds of rules daw. The explicitly stated norms. These are norms that are stated verbally. So, which is nakasulat ito siya. Then the second is non-explicit informal norms. So these are norms that are neither written nor explicitly stated but understood by the members to be the ways things should be done. So hindi ito nakasulat but dapat naiintindihan natin ang dapat na gawin natin. So ito yung hindi sinasabi gawin pero ginagawa natin. The last one in the group structure is the status. It is the term used to refer to one's rank standing in the group based on any or all of the following. So, ito yung nagde-determine ng structure of group na dapat i-maintain and i-consider. First is the person closeness to the center of the web of communication in the group. So, ito yung center of communication in the group or ito ay star. Parang star. Then, the carrying on of a particular kind of activity or maintaining a certain level of activity. So, ito yung maraming ginagawa, maraming role. And the last is the person's position in the web of communication and the kind of the job he does.